See, what the Tao teaches us is that we all have a nature. Listen to Lao Tzu. He says, every human being has an essential nature that is perfect and faultless. But after years of immersion in the world, we easily forget our roots and take on a counterfeit nature. I would suggest that all of us who have immersed ourselves in this world have taken on a counterfeit nature, what I just described in the opening few moments. This ego, this part of us that really believes that my essence and my nature is about what I have, what I do, what other people think of me, and my separation from each other and from God. That's the story of the ego. This counterfeit nature, if we can transcend it, what I learned to think was, he said, look at nature. You'll find God in nature. So in the 81 verses of the Tao, 31 of those verses contain references to water. To just be like water. And what is water like? It is the softest substance on the planet, and yet it is the strongest. If you take a rock, a hardest substance you can find, you can take titanium and just take a lump of it there and just let water run over it, patiently running over it. Eventually, whatever that hard thing is, it will disappear. And water, if you want to get a hold of it, if you want to experience water, if you reach in and grab a handful of it, and the tighter you squeeze, the less you get. But if you let go and relax and allow and do nothing, you'll understand water. And if you look at the sea is the lowest, we call it sea level, and it is the lowest place on the planet. And all of the rivers and all of the streams, wherever you see it, they're all competing and fight whatever they're doing, but the sea stays low. And in so doing, it allows all of this to come to it. Practice, the Tao says, radical humility. Stay low. Let your ego go. Let it come to you. And miracles can happen for you. In the Tao, it says that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with what? A single step. It says, don't think big. Great sages, says the Tao, accomplish great things by thinking small. I just celebrated my 22nd year of sobriety. And I want to tell you, that's big. Especially if you had 22 years before that in which you drank every day. Not to drunkenness, just every day. And when the day came, when the time came, when the quantum moment came for me to let it go, I didn't do it by thinking big and saying, I'm going to not drink now for the next 22 years. I would have had to open a beer to contemplate that. But I accomplished a great thing like that by thinking small. And so I learned what to think. And then that year was complete, and I studied it and wrote about it and felt its presence. It excited me, this thing called the Tao. And I taught at a university for years. I even taught courses in various different philosophies and taught about the Tao. But I'd never understood the symmetry, the beauty, how compelling the simplicity of this great wisdom if you begin to apply it. If you begin to see and find your own essential nature. And your own essential nature is just like all of other nature. You're a part of nature. And yet what we have done is ignored our nature so frequently. Our nature has nothing to do with violence. It has nothing to do with weapons. It has nothing to do with killing. It has nothing to do with enemies. These are all constructs of the ego, of the false self. We come from a place of perfection, a place of kindness, a place of love, creation. Learn to think like God thinks. That's what Einstein said when they asked him about quantum physics. They said, his observation was, he said that they're just details. He said, all I want to do is learn to think like God thinks. How does the source from which all things originate, to which all things return, how does it think? How does it act? That's what Lao Tzu meant when he said we have an essential nature. And these virtues inside of our essential nature are nothing more, there's 4 of them. They're nothing more than reverence for all of life. If you can live that, reverence for all of life. Sincerity, which manifests itself as honesty, just simple honesty. Not that you don't steal, but the kind of honesty in which you are able to relate to and reflect who you are with everyone that you meet from a place of internal integrity. That this is who I am. This is how I dress. This is how I live. This is what I think. Gentleness is the 3rd of these virtues in the TE and the Tao Te Ching. Simple gentleness which manifests itself as kindness. And finally, service, which is nothing more than just reaching out and serving others.